Hello, 4th graders. Welcome to Lesson 1.1, Model Place Value Relationships. In this lesson, you will learn how to describe the value of a digit. To begin, please label the top of your notebook page with today's lesson number, 1.1, the title of the lesson, Model Place Value Relationships, and today's date in the upper right-hand corner. Throughout your lessons, I will make sure to let you know if you do not need to copy something down. Otherwise, your notebook should look just like the screen and include everything that I have copied down. We're going to start by reviewing some place values. When we're working with whole numbers, the smallest place values that we have is the ones place. I'm going to abbreviate that with a capital O. Then we have the tens place and the hundreds place. The ones, tens, and hundreds all make up our ones period. After we have used our hundreds place, then we're going to move into the thousands period. And just like the ones period, we have ones, tens, and thousands. And moving on to the next period, after the thousands comes the millions. And we have the ones, tens, and millions. We're going to use place values to determine how much a digit is worth. So let's practice with these problems. We're going to find the value of the underlined digit, meaning how much is that underlined digit worth? So for number 1, we have 894,613, and the 9 is underlined. So I'm going to determine which place value that 9 is in. Ones, tens, hundreds, that's the ones period. Ones, tens, hundreds, and the thousands period. So that 9 is in the 10,000s place. So that 9 is worth 9 10,000s, or that's the same as 90,000. Let's try the next one. I have the number 2,304. The digit 3 is underlined, and it is in the ones, tens, hundreds place. So that is worth 3 hundreds, which is the same as 300. So the value of that 3 is 300, and it's worth 300. Next part of our review is reviewing the base 10 blocks. And this will be important to us when we're modeling values of digits and also when we're comparing values of digits. So we're going to start off by the smallest base 10 block, which is our cube, and it is worth 1. The way you can draw a cube quickly is by drawing a square, and then in the next lower corner draw another square and connect the corners together. Okay, so this cube is worth 1. Next, we have the long, and it is worth 10. It's comprised of 10 cubes, and the way you can draw that is by drawing just a long rectangle. Next, we have a flat, and it is made up of 10 longs and 100 cubes, and it is worth 100. You can draw a flat by simply drawing a large square, or as close to it as you can. Then we have another cube. You can draw this again by drawing a bigger cube than what you did for the first one. Draw your squares and connect the corners. And it is comprised of 10 flats, 100 longs, and 1,000 cubes. So this cube is worth 1,000. There's a couple different patterns that I'm noticing. I'm noticing that it goes cube, long, flat, cube, long, flat. So if we were to continue through the place values, each one would repeat itself in that order. I'm also noticing that every time I'm going to the next greatest place value, or next greatest base 10 block, it's increasing by 10 times. So I need 10 ones to make a long, and I need 10 longs to make a flat, and I need 10 flats to make another cube. We're going to look at this with this next number. Okay, so I have the number 44,444. Now the reason why I want to draw particular attention to this is because I want you to recognize the value of each one of these fours. So the value of this 4 in the ones place is worth 4. The value of the 4 in the tens place is worth 40. The value of the 4 in the hundreds place is worth 400. The value of the 4 in the thousands place is worth 4,000. And the value of the 4 in the 10,000s place is worth 40,000. Do you notice a pattern? Just like in our base 10 blocks, the value of each one of these digits increases 10 times as you move to the left of each place value. So if I'm comparing the 4 in the ones place to the 4 in the tens place, well, that 4 in the tens place is 10 times as great as the 4 in the ones place. And this pattern would continue all the way down. This 4 in the hundreds place is 10 times greater than the 4 in the tens place, and so on and so forth. Because just like our base 10 blocks, it increases 10 times as you move to greater place values. We're going to use that to compare digits in different place values. Compare the values of the underlined digits. So for number 1, I have the number 2,304 and 16,135. So both 3's are underlined in the numbers, and I need to compare them. So let's start off by identifying which place value those 3's are in. This 3 is in the hundreds place, and this 3 is in the tens place. So if I think back to my place values, I have ones, tens, and hundreds, and each time it's going to be 10 times to move to the next greater place value. So the value of the 3 in 2,304 is one place value greater, or 10 times as greater as the value of the 3 in 16,135. We're just focusing on the values of the underlined digits. Let's try another problem. We're going to compare the values of the underlined digits in these numbers, 5,693 and 62. So again, we have our ones, tens, hundreds. That 6 is in the hundreds, and ones, tens, and 6 and 62 is in the tens place. So comparing the hundreds, tens, and ones, each time it's going to increase 10 times to the next place value. So the value of the 6 in 5,693 is one place value more, or 10 times the value of the 6 in the number 62. Here are your practice problems. Find the value of the underlined digits for number 1 and 2, and compare the values of the underlined digits for number 3. All right, enjoy the rest of your day.